Hello and welcome back to the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, where today we're going to be entering this shrine in what is probably going to be the final episode in which I had to do some editing and re-record the commentary. So we've got some lava here, and we've got a metal sphere. And considering the title of this place was like Metal Makes a Path, I figure, hey, let's try and grab that, and then we can use it as a shield against the regular balls. But unfortunately, it seems that it's a bit too far away from here, so we need to find our way up this first little step without it. Thankfully, we've got stasis for that. So we go ahead and get that right there. Whip out our sledgehammer and give it a few whacks just to make sure it gets out of the way once it stops being stasised. And thus, we are able to see that, yeah, we can't stasis our way through that next one because it's got multiple balls at once. So we wait for this to go by so that we can grab us a metal ball. Almost grabbed that a bit too late there. But thankfully we're fine. So just as a test, sure enough, the metal ball does stop the stone balls. So now we need to get it back in front of us so that we can use it to protect ourselves here. It almost went too high up and resulted in our horrible squishy doom, but thankfully that didn't happen. Decide to push it a bit farther forward so if any mishaps happen it won't be damaging to us. And now we've made it. So I let go of the ball. Decide to try and look around. That ball, since it's moving slightly, still hurts. Notice a chest over there. And of course, I can't just leave a chest without investigating what it's got in it. It's got a knight's broadsword, which I wanted more than that ice rod that I had, because I had another ice rod still. And so we come back to claim our orb. So now we continue on up towards a tower that was visible in the distance. I don't really care too much about the boomerang since I'm not very good at catching them after throwing them. So I decide to just get rid of the boomerangs I have. And then we take a look. Figure there might be something of value up on top of things here. And hey, look, it's a bombable rock. Those usually have things of value. Unfortunately, that bomb wasn't quite close enough. But this one will be. And there's a rock under that rock. And there's a Korok under the rock that was under the rock. So we continue on towards the tower. And then something interesting happens during this climb. Hear a noise, so I look for the source. And hey, look, there's a bird that just killed itself. Good job, bird. And its friend just couldn't live without it. You never expect it to rain birds while you're climbing, but sometimes it does. Anyway, we've got a tower to climb. And so, we get climbing. With a very nice view along the way. Spoiled a little bit by the red laser going towards the castle, but whatever. What are you going to do about it? And we are treated to yet another nice view, again with a red laser spoiling it a little. Seriously, I wish they would have waited to fire that laser towards the castle, but we'll get used to it, I suppose. And then we're treated to yet another unskippable scene in which a map drips onto our tablet. I really wish such scenes were skippable. And I'll be complaining about that a lot over the course of this playthrough, I am sure. In fact, I know I've already done it several more times in later episodes. Considering, at the time of this recording, I have actually recorded up to episode 41. So, yeah. Hey look, it's another tower. And we're going to make that our goal, since it seems close enough. Certainly closer than anything else. Yeah, I decide to go to the stable, grab a horse, and then head on over to the shrine, or not shrine, tower. This moblin's causing problems, so we decide to help this guy out. And then get a little intimidated by that flying guardian there. But energizing elixir is nice. And the guardians patrol it to this day. Though, hey, there's nothing stopping him from praying right here. Yeah, I figure that gap looks a bit too long to actually glide. So, I notice the side path, and we hop on our horse to go take it. And along the way, spot a shrine right there. Unfortunately, we need to actually get off the horse to tag it. But I figure the tower is our goal, and the shrine will be easy to glide to from the tower. And so, we ride right through that wolf and begin our ascent, trying our best to avoid the Sky Guardians. Because, yeah, at this point in my playtime, I was still intimidated by Guardians. And then I figure there's a quicker way up where we won't have to deal with as many Guardians, so I just climb. Because that's a thing you can do in this game. So this tower had me stumped for a while because of all this goop. I noticed this eye, so I go ahead and give it a shot. But it doesn't do much. It just knocks that down. So I figure, hey, maybe there's another eye that's controlling all the goop. So I looked around, unfortunately didn't see anything, so I tried just using that little platform to break in. Maybe there'll be eyes in here that'll let us bust all the goop around here. Unfortunately, there aren't. So pretty soon you'll see a pretty major time skip from 10:55 a.m. to much later when I actually figured out the solution, because the tower is covered on all sides by the goop. So you gotta find some way to get onto the tower from above the goop. I tried many things, including just climbing right through the goop, and making an updraft with fires to try and glide over the goop, but none of it worked until I realized, hey, there's a little bit of space without goop here. And it turns out this is the solution. So yeah, that was a pretty big time skip for a very simple solution. I felt really dumb once I realized that was how it was done. And then we get to activate yet another tower. So from up here, I noticed a shrine and also something else glowing orange down there. So I decided that that was to be our next goal, because it looked like it was within gliding distance. Also, it's cold up here, so I had to wear the doublet. So it's a pretty big area we just got a map for, and we're barely into it at all. But yeah, that shrine there that's marked with yellow is the place where I want to go. So I figure we can probably glide over to it. And that little orange glowiness next to it, I think, is a Great Fairy Fountain at this point. And unfortunately, we don't quite make it. I did try again after this with a jump instead of a falling start, and it still met with very similar results. So at that point, I had been playing for quite some time. I cut out a lot of failed attempts to climb this tower. So by the second failure to glide over there, I figured if we're going to get over there, we're going to have to use stamina stuff. And it's going to have to be on the next episode because this had been going for way too long by then. So that's it for this episode. Join us next time when we get to that shrine. See you then, friends.